But before we take this journey, it's always good to take stock of what we have already in place as far as stress management and energy management is concerned. So I would like to ask you to do a small exercise. If you have something to write, a computer or a notepad, and just for 1.5 minutes, do a little brainstorm. And when you think about energy management and stress management and what you already do in this regard, what comes to mind? And what will be most important is the number of things that come to mind. So don't censor yourself, don't think about how good this idea is, just put everything onto the paper, onto the screen. So I'll start the timer now for 1.5 minutes and just write down as many things as possible. I will be asking you about how many things you came up with afterwards. So one idea, for example, could be sports, for some people, yoga, or cooking. So just your methods for energy management, what you already use, what you already know, as many things as possible. And the first thing you do in the morning is to get as much of your skin out in the sun as possible. So like in the photo here. And you see the results here. What happened was that he really did this experiment. He was more and more energetic, had more energy for working out regularly, and step after step, cascading in a domino effect, the results happened that you see here. So how is it possible that such a small, you could say, change can have such a big impact on weight, for example? The hypothesis that scientists now have is that many of the civilization diseases that we see and face today are correlated with unhealthy circadian rhythms because of blue lights that we see, because of the stimulation from different devices. If we, for example, look at groups of mice, and then you see that groups with that mice with deregulated circadian rhythms are more susceptible among others, to being overweight, to circulatory diseases, to diabetes, or to cancer. All this is connected to a very small, tiny structure in the brain, just over the eye nerves, connecting the eyes with the brain, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That is the master clock of the body. It regulates the expression of thousands of genes in the body, which genes switch on and off, and also synchronizes the organ function. So basically what it does is to change a bunch of desynchronized solists, using the music analogy, into a well functioning orchestra. That's the function of the master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. And it's regulated by two main factors. One of them is light. That's due also to melanopsin, the light-sensitive protein that regulates sleep and mood, and also melatonin and cortisol secretion. And is also very sensitive to bright light and ongoing exposure. So for example, if you go out in the night and switch on the lights for a moment, then nothing happens. But if you go out like Rick Rubin in the morning and put a lot of your skin into the sun for 10 minutes, then melanopsin tells the body after some time, okay, a new day has started, and we reset the system. So it's a reset button basically. And the second thing that regulates the master clock is food. Food is regulating the circadian rhythms, especially of the organs and of the metabolic functions. I put another poll on. What is the midpoint between, for you, between going to sleep and waking up? Okay, thank you. I see already some answers coming in. Still answers coming in, rolling in. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your engagement. Okay, so let's take maybe 15 more seconds to just be sure that everybody has put his answer in. Okay, I think we have the majority. I will end the poll now. And here you see the results. So from this group, the midpoint, most of you have between 3 and 6, almost half of you, half of the group, almost 50%. Then we have 29% between midnight and 3 and 6, and there are also some people who have between 6 and 12. So what do the results mean? After some time and looking deeper into these results, he got also into he got convinced that exercise is really the most potent thing you can do. Not the whole supplements and not the things that people take to enhance lifespan, but simple exercise. So now he says if you really care about brain health, for example, you should exercise every day because it's such a boost. If you look at the benefits in short, in comparison with sedentary folks, active people can expect 9 years difference in telomere length, so it's lower biological age. It's changes in the expression of 400 genes and more optimal gene expression, better circulation in brain, and that's a lower risk of dementia, and more stem cells and growth hormone. That means higher ability of the body to regenerate and restore.